My hair is a mess. I'm gonna try to get through this video quick because I take forever getting through videos and it takes forever to edit. Thus, I procrastinate and don't edit, and then nothing gets uploaded, and yeah. So today we're going to talk about color, more specifically color correcting and color grading, with a little bit of lighting, but I won't go too much into that. Color correcting is the correction of color or lighting in a shot. So for example, if this shot was too cool, you would warm it a bit, and if it was too warm, you would cool it a bit. Also with lighting, if it's too dark, you lighten it. If it's too bright, then you darken it. Color correcting and color grading are used in basically every single movie that comes out nowadays, and color is used as a way to tell story or give it style or just make sure that it doesn't look like trash. A couple different key movies to know are Mad Max Fury Road, where they use very contrasting colors, very bright saturated colors, and The Matrix, where green tint is used to indicate the Matrix and a normal just basic looking color scheme is used to indicate real life. So let's talk about the color wheel. You probably already know how the color wheel works, but just in case you don't, here's the color wheel. It goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and back to red. There's a bunch of other different colors inside there too, but we're not going to get into the specifics of that. A lot of the color correction process goes opposites to each other, if that makes sense. If it's too cool, like a bluish kind of color, instead what you'll have to do is do the exact opposite on the color wheel, which would be orange. So you give it some orange and you color correct the shot, and then vice versa for cool to warm. Was it warm to cool? I don't know. Next, let's talk about color combinations. Color combinations actually go the same way, except instead of trying to balance each other out, you're actually using it to contrast each other or give it style. So one really popular color scheme is the orange and teal look, which is really like orange and a bluish tealish color. People say that this is often overused in cinema, but one of the reasons that it's used so much is because it's also how things look naturally. People in general, even people of different skin colors, tend to have a skin tone within the warmish section. If you open up any editing program and open up a color wheel on there, there's a skin tone indicator, and the skin tone always falls somewhere between red, orange, and yellow. And the blue comes in just because shadows are generally blackish, bluish. A lot of that comes from the sky or the moon or just whatever, casting down a lightish blue shadow. Right now I'll show you what the video looks like without any color correction, and now we'll go back to with color, and so now you see why color and lighting is such an important part when it comes to the editing process of your videos. And color grading has to do a lot more with style. It's the feel or look that you want to give your movie, and if you don't really know what I mean, you'll kind of get a sense once you start watching action movies or horror movies, where horror movies will have a darker color grade, whereas action movies tend to have really high contrasting colors, lots of contrasting lighting, super bright highlights, super dark shadows. I guess I can give an example here. I tend to not go towards this kind of color grading part of it, just because that's not really the look that I'm into. A lot of people say that there's no right or wrong way to do things when it comes to color, and for the most part I would agree, but if you're starting out, these are some basic good guidelines to know. So don't try any weird color grades either that would throw people off during the video. Another tip that I've learned is try not to give any saturation to darker colors such as blue or purple, more the cooler darker colors, because that tends to add a lot more grain and noise into your footage. Not grain. Grain is something different, which I might talk about in a different video, but noise. Noise is something that you definitely have to avoid when color grading and just filming in general. But yeah, color grading has to do a lot with style, and so I switch it up every now and then between videos. Like right now, I'll show you what it looks like without the color grade. So yeah, that's that, and then we can apply it with the color grade again. I change it depending on location, environment, and just what I'm feeling. I've wanted to do a video on color for a while because it just really interests me. If it doesn't interest you, then too bad, you've made it this far into the video. So doing this process has saved a lot of piano cover videos and even my regular videos, like the hiking in Illinois video that's on the second channel here. If you plan to color correct and color grade your shots, then you should shoot in a way that gives you more freedom. And so a lot of what that's called is flat footage or log footage. Both of those are ways that give your footage a really desaturated look, but they also give you a lot more freedom to put color into your videos. I am in no way a film professional, but once again, these are tips and tricks that I've learned, and so if you want to do any of this video should maybe, I don't know, hopefully help you. Now this camera is about to die in a second, so I'm going to talk about one last thing, which is noise and artifacts. The way YouTube analyzes your video and goes over the color and lighting, it's a process that YouTube does when it transfers your video from your editing program or whatever to the main site itself. And as it does that, the video can lose quality and color, and it'll also add a lot of really negative effects to your videos. So while it might look completely fine in your editing program, YouTube will distort it once you upload it. This happened to the PUBG video, where you can see, I'll explain what noise and artifacts are here actually. Noise is something that kind of looks like grain, but isn't grain. Just in general, we'll talk about noise here. So this is what noise looks like. You don't want any of that noise because it just gives the footage a really low quality look and can distract the viewers. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Like I said, YouTube can definitely add a lot of noise. Artifacts are another huge problem. Artifacts are these weird chunky blocks that you get in your video, just like the PUBG video, and a lot of that is caused by shadows that don't get processed, or just really dark black colors like over here. The darker cool colors like blue and purple, and is that it? That's actually about it. The blues, purples, and blacks tend to cause a lot of trouble when it comes to noise and artifacts. So it might look fine in your editing program once you upload to YouTube. Like I said, YouTube will destroy your footage, and that's one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of, but most of the time you can work around it by adding a lot more light or going towards more warmer colors. But yeah, sometimes it's unavoidable. So yeah, that's basically about it. Hope that I was able to teach you something about color correcting and color grading, and warn you about different things that YouTube does. This camera is going to die here really soon. I'm trying to upload more videos, but it takes a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of time right now. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.